In our last lesson, we learnt about the meaning of population and population dynamics. We understood that population dynamics is the study of how and why a population changes in size, structure and composition over time and place. In this lesson, we will continue our discussion on population dynamics, but our focus of study will be population density. Now, to understand the difference between population and population density, let's take an example here. Let's say we have two land masses. First is land A and second is land B. As it is quite evident on the screen that land B is much larger in size than land A. So, the area of land B is more than land A. Now, say for instance, the population of A is 1000, but the population of B is 1800. So, we see that the population of B is also more than the population of A. Now, let's set an area for each of them. Say that the area of land A is 4 kilometers square, while the area of land B is 9 kilometers square. So, you see that the area and the population of A is less than the area and population of land B. Now, what can we tell about the density of the two land masses? If we divide the land A and land B into 1 kilometer square unit area, let's see what we get. So, on dividing land A into 4 equal unit, and now we have 1 unit as 1 kilometer square. Now, let us divide land B also in 1 kilometer square area units. Let's see what happens. So, on dividing land B into 9 equal parts, we get this structure. That means that each unit here is 1 kilometer square. So, just like we have divided the area of each of these lands into equal units, let's divide the population of these areas too equally. So, if we divide the population of land A equally, we get 250 people living in each unit. That is, there are 250 people living in each 1 square kilometer, right? So, we have 250 people living in each unit. So, the total population now counts to be 1000 that we have, and the area remains the same, that is 4 kilometers square. So, this was the division for land A. Now, let's do this for land B. So, if we divide the population of land B equally among all these units, what do we get? So, on dividing the population of land B equally per unit, we get 200 people living in each unit. So, this only means that there are 200 people living in 1 kilometer square of land B. So, this all together becomes the total population of land B, that is 1800, while the area remains the same, that is 9 kilometers square. So, it is quite clear that even though the population of land A is less than the population of land B, the number of people living in each area, in each unit, is more than that of land B. So, the distribution of population is uneven, right? The distribution of population in land A is higher than that in land B. So, what can we infer from this? We can understand that population distribution is uneven across the world. So, the number of people living in each unit area of land varies with time and place. People might be living concentratedly in some places, or they might be living far away from each other at some places. So some places, while being highly populated, can be less dense, while some places might be low in population but can be highly dense. Now, what exactly do we mean by density of population and how do we calculate it is what we are going to learn. So the number of people living per unit area of land is called the density of population. This is what exactly we saw in the very first example when we began this lesson. So we saw that land A though had lesser population, but the number of people living in each unit area of land was more than land B. This only meant that the density of population of land A was more than the density of population of land B. So to calculate the density of population, this is a very simple formula. And what do we have? So we have the number of people living per unit area of land. So this is a simple formula to find out the density of population. So population density is usually expressed as the number of people in every square kilometer of land. So if we go back to the example, we'll get that land A, the population density will be population of land A, that is 1000, divided by the area, that is 4 kilometers square. So we get 250 people per square kilometer. However, for land B, the population density stands at 1800, that is the population divided by the area, that is 9 kilometers square, which is equal to 200 people per kilometer square. So we see that even though the population of land B was more, the population density of land A is more than land B. That means that the number of people living in each unit area of land was more than land B. So population density may vary with time and place. But there are certain factors that influence the density of population in a region. So even if the region is highly populated, the density might be low. Why so? So the factors that influence the density of population could be the fertility of the land, ample supply of water, rainfall, suitable climate, thriving economic activities, that is the presence of important industries. These all act as favorable conditions contributing to a dense population. So here we have a map that shows the population density across the world from 2022 studies. So the study says that Asia here has the highest population density while Australia has the lowest. Now what does this mean? This only means that the number of people living in each unit area of land in Australia is lowest as compared to other countries of the world, while Asia has the highest population density, which means number of people living in each unit area of land on the continent of Asia is the highest as compared to any other continent of the world. From this we can also understand that Asia has the highest population density because it has all the favorable conditions that has led to the high population density of this continent. While Australia, being one of the developed countries, has a low population density only because it does not have all the favorable conditions that favor a dense population. So factors like the fertility of land, a good climate, industrial growth and many other such factors play a very important role in influencing the population density of any country or of any region in the world. So here we have a map that shows us the densely populated countries in the world. And we have countries of South and Southeast Asia right here, Western Europe and Central Europe right here, And these countries are the most densely populated countries of the world. That only means that the number of people living in each unit area of these countries are the highest as compared to any other country in the world. So from this map we can see that Bangladesh, which is a South Asian country, is one of the most densely populated countries of the world, which only means that there are more than 800 people living in each unit area of land in Bangladesh. Now we see that countries like South Korea and Taiwan are countries which also are densely populated, but here the density of population is comparatively lesser than that of countries like Bangladesh. So around 400 to 800 people are living in per unit area of land in South Korea and Taiwan. Now lastly, we see that countries like India, Italy, United Kingdom and also Japan are countries which also has a dense population, but here the density of population is comparatively less than the countries that we just saw. So here we see that there are around 200 to 400 people living in per unit area of land in these countries. So these are the countries that are one of the most densely populated countries of the world. Now if we come to India. So in India, the Ganga Basin, which lies here, is the most densely populated region of India. So all the states that lies in the Ganga Basin, namely Haryana, Delhi, Uttar Pradesh, Bihar and West Bengal, are the states that are most densely populated among all the other states of India. Now, why do you think that this Ganga Basin is so densely populated? This is because the Ganga Basin provides a fertile land which is agriculturally rich and agriculturally developed. So states lying on the Ganga Basin can benefit out of this agriculturally productive land, and so this region is densely populated. So before we proceed with our lesson, could you help me answer this question? Which of the following states is not a part of the densely populated Ganga Basin in India? Is it Uttar Pradesh or Tamil Nadu or West Bengal or Delhi? Yes, the correct answer is Tamil Nadu. Tamil Nadu is not a part of the densely populated Ganga Basin, while the rest lies on the Ganga Basin itself. So the fertile Ganga plain in India is densely populated. So the fertility of the Ganga Basin is actually what makes it so highly or densely populated. Now here is also a very good example, a very important one, where we see that the Nile River Valley in Egypt is heavily populated. So even though Egypt falls in the Sahara Desert region, that is the northern part of Africa, the presence of this riverine region or the Nile River Valley makes it heavily populated. So the fertility of land plays a very important role in contributing to a dense population. Now Monaco, that is in Europe, as we can see here in this map, is the second most densely populated country in the world. So after Macau in China, that is the most densely populated country in the world, Monaco is the second most densely populated country in the world. Now why are we talking about the second most densely populated country in the world? This is only to make you understand that regions that are industrially developed or who have technologically advanced are places that attract human population and makes itself a densely populated region. So the technological advancements and the industrial growth in Monaco, that is in Europe, makes it the second most densely populated country in the world. So besides the fertility of the land and the industrial advancements or economic activities, even climate plays a very important role in influencing the density of population. So a very good example of this is the Mediterranean coast. So people living near the Mediterranean coast experience a moderate climate. And this is why this region is densely populated. So the climate here attracts people from across the world, and it helps in the establishment of important port cities. So the Mediterranean region is a very good example of places that are influenced by factors like climate, making it densely populated. So we saw that climate also plays a very important role in influencing the density of population. But besides that, we have another example of a very important factor, and that is the supply of water. So ample supply of water also plays a key role in influencing the density of population. So an example of this is the region around the Great Lakes. We know that Great Lakes is situated in North America, that is right here. So the region around the Great Lakes receives ample amount of water for consumption, transportation and power generation. So because it favors such important activities, it makes the region densely populated. So now let's move out of the densely populated regions of the place and take a breath of relief. Let's go to places that have a moderate climate and a spacious environment. Here we are talking about the places which are moderately populated. So moderately populated regions are agriculturally developed and have a moderate climate. They have limited resources and are host to new industries or upcoming industries. And these generally are semi-urban in nature. So a very good example of this is parts of Africa and Indonesia. So though we have rainforests located in these regions, the region experiences a moderate climate as it is surrounded by mountains. So places in the world that are agriculturally developed and they are host to new industries with a moderate climate are the places that support a moderate population or are the places that are moderately populated. So here we have a world map showing the moderately populated regions in the world. And we have Iran, Iraq, Eastern Europe, Central China, Southeastern Asia, major portions of North and South America, and finally tropical Africa. So these are the regions that are moderately populated regions, which only means that these regions have nearly moderate climate, they are agriculturally developed, are semi-urban in nature, and they are host to new industries and have limited resources. So these regions favor a moderately dense population. So here we saw the regions that are moderately populated. But there are also some regions that experience extreme conditions. Now these extreme conditions, like in rainforests, deserts and mountains. For example, the Amazon rainforest or the Congo forest, deserts like the Thar Desert or the Sahara Desert, or the mountains like the Himalayas or the Rockies in North America. So these regions have extreme conditions and they become unsuitable for human inhabitation. And therefore these regions are places with low population density. So they are sparsely populated regions of the world. So here we have a map that shows us the sparsely populated regions of the world. So these are the regions that has a very low population density. We have Mongolia, that is a desert region. Then we have large parts of Russia, parts of Africa, northern part of North America right here, and we have Australia. So these are the sparsely populated areas of the world, which only means that the conditions are not as favorable as compared to other countries or regions of the world, which makes it sparsely populated. Now, if you have been very careful since the very beginning of the lesson, then you must have noticed that places or regions that have a huge area are places that are less densely populated, and places that have a small area are places that are more densely populated, which only means that even if the population of a region is less, the density could be more. That is, the number of people living in each unit area of land could be more, as the area in total is less. So even if the population is less, the number of people living in each area could be very congested, and therefore it makes that region more densely populated. So in today's lesson, we were able to understand the meaning of population density, which is a very important part of population dynamics. So population density is different from population. Though population tells us about the total number of people living in a particular area, population density tells us the number of people living in each unit area of the entire land or the entire region that is under study. We further understood that there are various factors that influence the density of population. The factors that influence the density of population could include ample amount of water supply. There could be the fertility of land playing a very important role. The climate too plays a very important role, and other than that, we also have the growth of industries or technological advancements that influence the density of population. In our next lesson, we will be understanding the negative and positive aspect of population dynamics. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon. You can also register for free at DeltaStep.com or download the DeltaStep app to learn one-to-one with our amazing teachers, or to get access to all our 5,000 plus amazing videos as per your school syllabus. Master each topic with our adaptive practice technology. Get million plus questions with step-by-step solutions and unlimited mock test. Get all your doubts resolved instantly. Learn via games and win amazing prizes like PlayStations and iPads. So at DeltaStep, learning is not just fun and easy, it is rewarding too. So register for free now.